The Indianapolis 500 is more than just a race. It's a legend, a cultural icon. For those that compete, a hunger.
This is, and always will be, the greatest spectacle in racing.
I started drinking at 6 a.m. We're here now. I don't know what time it is. But I'm rolling deep. And those cars are going real fast. Real fast.
It's 500 for everybody to see. Ready right here.
And we welcome everybody to the Indianapolis 500 podcast, a Borg Warner production. As with the weather being how it is tomorrow, we'll see if we have another episode or two that we'll do on Monday and Tuesday. But I know for sure we will be here for the next 5 to 7 days, all the way until the end of the Indianapolis 500-mile race. Now, if you were wondering why I took off yesterday, took off due to another bit of family business, but we have actually completed the first day, only day actually, of qualifying, which was another reason why I didn't record yesterday. It was going to be pushed back. But today, Alex Palou has just taken the first place pole position at the Indianapolis 500-mile race, and he will be that for the second time in his career. And last year, you have to remember, it was a rookie that had won it last year. But I'm just saying the Indy 500 pole day, bump day, carb day, all mixed into one day, was full of a lot of surprises. But today I really saw guys that were competing compete. And I saw guys that did not compete. But really everybody participated. This was the first time I had ever seen the Indianapolis 500 have something like this. It was really eye-opening to see that. But I will say that we will have more coverage of this going into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of the Indianapolis 500, including betting odds and all that. But I'm really curious as to see what is going to also happen for some people in the field. Because this year it wasn't like a normal traditional Indianapolis 500 qualifying where you had drivers in every position. Basically do one day pole day, another day bump day. This year they've combined all of the qualifying materials in the one day. And there were a lot of surprises because I was shocked to see drivers like Connor Daly, who was put up in second place with the second fastest time earlier in the day before that was exiled by Alexander Rossi. Connor Daly really surprised me today. Palou Ward also surprised me. Scott McLaughlin really surprised me today. He ran some of the best laps. Him and Malukis both. Watch out for Penske. As long as they are injury-free, scandal-free, they are clean as a whistle this year. So look out for David Malukis, Scott McLaughlin, because I'm just saying, I can tell you right now, anybody on the top 10 is going to be most likely to win this race. Anybody on the top 10. I'd be surprised if someone like Catherine Legg or Graham Rahal or Jack Harvey or Mick Schumacher will be in the mix to win. But again, this is Indianapolis. The things that happen in Indy stay in Indy. So let's get into the results real quick as the Firestone Fast 6 had just completed a few hours ago. We're recording this at 8:02 p.m. Eastern. And I need to charge my computer, the thing I record the podcast on. So we're just going to say Alex Palou was in first. Alexander Rossi finished in second place behind David Malukis in third. Felix Rosenquist will start fourth. Santino Ferrucci in fifth. Pato O'Ward in sixth. And then you got Kiffin Simpson in row 3. In seventh, Connor Daly 8. Scott McLaughlin 9. Row 4, Kyle Collette, who, that kid shocked me today. He could win it this year. That's why I said anybody on the top 10 could win it. But if you want a rookie to win it in Indianapolis, which has never happened before, this is the kid to do it. He ran one of the fastest times today, second fastest time today. And not only, especially during the pole session and general qualifying before the gun sounded, he ran the heck out of that vehicle. He could guide and shift and move and pass, kind of like Scott Dixon did back in his day. And he's up next in position number 11 on row 4, Rinus VeeKay at number 12. But Kyle Collette, watch out for him. Watch out for Connor Daly. Watch out for Scott McLaughlin. Watch out for Pat O'Ward. Now, O'Ward had a very weak qualifying today. This was his worst qualifying session ever. This is not his best stuff. And that makes me a little concerned for him. Because not only is he one of the most respected drivers in this entire field, he's the likeliest to win it all this year because of the 3 years that he had grinding it out and pushing his metal, pushing it to the metal just to win at the Indianapolis 500. Give me 1 second. There we go. Now, I will say, Pat O'Ward has had one of the weakest qualifying sessions I think I've seen out of him ever at his time racing an Indy car. But that to me surprised me a lot because he is expected to win it all this year. And he's second most to win it all this year. We'll get into betting odds and all that as soon as the race or before the race begins. But he didn't impress me a lot today. He really didn't impress a lot of the fans today. This again was his worst qualifying session, and this was not good for him. And then you have, again, Rinus VeeKay, I just said. Row 5 has Takuma Sato, Ed Carpenter, Helio Castroneves. Those three are the least likely to maybe win again. I wouldn't doubt Helio, but, I mean, just my opinion on it. But they ran solid, but not like how they used to. And then row 6 has Christian Rasmussen, Marcus Armstrong, Marcus Ericsson. And then row 7 will have Christian Lundgaard, Will Power, Nolan Siegel. And number 21, Lewis Foster, starting at row 8, Lewis Foster, Ryan Hunter-Reay, and Joseph Newgarden will be at the bottom of the field. This is where it gets a little tricky. Romain Grosjean, Kyle Kirkwood, at her best start ever. Catherine Legge has her best start in Indy 500 history at 27th. Like, this is her best start maybe ever. And we talked about her 2 years ago when I did YouTube videos on the Indy 500 before we switched to podcast mode. She is a heavy favorite at the bottom to maybe try and get to the pack, but we'll see how she does. This is just really going to be an interesting bunch here, the 9, and especially if Catherine Legge can get going, especially on lap 50 or lap 60, she might be able to lead the lap or two in this race, but we'll see on that, especially near the end, as long as there's no mechanical failures or anything like that. But hopefully, with the rain, we just found out there might be rain in the forecast, so that will impact a lot of things for these drivers. Mick Schumacher impressed me for row 10. He did. He really put pedal to the metal. And he really did the best he could do today. He qualified near the top in the beginning and then fell all the way down to row 10 in position 28. I enjoyed him today. He can drive. I mean, he can really go at it. And he can really just put all on the line. Especially Jack Harvey and Graham Rahal. They could have had better performances today. Dennis Hager, Jacob Abel, and Stingray Robb will be positions number 31, 32, and 33. And that will round out the field at the 110th running at the Indianapolis 500-mile race. There we go. And so, Alex Palou, again, everybody has been scared about Alex Palou because of just how solid he is on a race car. He's one of the best drivers out here in the field. Him and Connor Daly are two drivers I'm personally watching out for. But I will say the whole day of pole day was as clean could get for a sunny day. Of course, the weather is not going to be in the favor of a lot of people, including us, in the next 2 to 3 days. But I will say that in Indiana, the weather gets turbulent every single year from the Indianapolis 500. But, man, it always tends to get turbulent in recent years. But we have a week left before the race, and a lot of drivers impressed me. And it's really going to be an interesting field here at the Indianapolis 500-mile race. And not only is this field going to be interesting, this is the 110th running of the Indy 500 again. and it's going to be a spectacular showing of sport. We again have seen all the updates. There was a really drama-free pole day, which is really shocking because a lot of these days, you remember last year, of course, we had that big scandal with Penske. This year, not the case. And this year, there was also a monster truck revealed that scuffed up some of the track that I heard. And that was on the 15th, so that was Friday, last Friday that happened. Hopefully that and the weather do not fully impact the track heavily, but we are going to see a major weather shift this week that's going to not only impact a lot of us, it's going to impact a lot of people going to the Indy 500, and it may impact race day. But we'll unpack more of that tomorrow. This is the instant reaction to pole day and qualifying at the Indy 500. And again, this is the Indianapolis 500 podcast, the Borg Warner production. We'll see you again tomorrow with more social media posts, and that will be on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you get your social media. We'll be posting more stuff on there about daily, about going into the Indianapolis 500. Of course, you can listen to previous episodes of this podcast. We already have the most popular podcast this year was about Alex Zanardi after he passed away, and then I took a break because we were dealing with some family stuff and work things. But this year's been a little more rocky than last year, and I'm getting into more of the adult mode. So that's why a lot of this stuff has been a lot more hectic, just managing time management and all that stuff. But this year, we don't want to put down on you guys, because you guys listen once a year, and this is the greatest spectacle in racing. No worries, no show, just enjoying Memorial Day weekend with friends and family, enjoying the greatest spectacle in racing. And we'll be back here tomorrow for more coverage of it, and Tuesday all the way until race day on Sunday with the post-race interviews and podcast Monday. And then we will wrap it up with one more episode to end the month of May, and then we will be all done for this podcast this year, and we'll come back next year for a new round of this stuff. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great day. Hope the weather keeps everybody safe, and I hope you are safe at home. If you're going to be going to the race, and this is your first time going, congratulations to you and your family. I hope you guys have a blast. We sure did last year. We had a blast. And just a reminder before we go, forgot to mention this. Most of the grandstand seating and the seating in the infield might be completely full. So getting tickets last minute at this point, you got to get them now. You have to get them now if you want to go. There are some last minute tickets people are selling online. But other than that, that is pretty much all the tickets they're selling. And so we don't want you hanging. We don't want anyone else hanging on this. But we thank you so much for listening to the Indy 500 podcast of Borg Warner production. My name is Bear-Lents. I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great night and enjoy the Indy 500 coming up in 7 days, people. 7 days. Have a great night, everyone, and let's go racing!